we are going to talk about efficient management of emergencies. About three phases: response, rehabilitation, and recovery. When the city is hit by an emergency or disaster, the first efforts are focused on taking care of the injured, restoring lifelines and basic services. Subsequently, work is done on restoring livelihoods and rebuilding communities. Such efforts can be structured in three phases: the response phase, in which activities such as the search and rescue of the injured and affected are carried out using advanced technology, rapid assessment of the match and needs, and the provision of first aid, and subsequently the opening and management of temporary shelters for the homeless, and therefore the provision of humanitarian assistance to those affected. The rehabilitation phase, in which basic services and lifelines are restored, even temporarily, including the road network and other essential facilities, including bridges, airports, ports, and helicopter landing strips. And the last one is the recovery phase, in which reconstruction efforts are carried out based on more detailed assessment of the match and degree of destruction of the infrastructure. In addition, efforts are being made to restore the livelihoods of those who have been affected. Okay, here we go with the mobility about traffic. Okay, in this part it is invested so that there is a better circulation in the traffic with the implementation of cameras in the traffic lights. Therefore, if the cameras detect that there are many cars, they will fire an alarm which will cause the next traffic light to change so that the traffic advance cars and so on consecutively. In the same way, the bridges where the cars pass will go down every so often so that there is a better circulation and it doesn't get saturated with cars. Also, with the help of the implementation of a guide inside the car, like a robot, like a robot type, which is going to be calculate where there is less traffic and then take the streets where there are not so many cars. And the daily commuter to work needs to take into account the rush hour, because it's when there is more traffic. So in this way, a little more can be avoided. Passengers need to be more aware about the traffic too.
Hello, my name is Omar Peregrino, and I'm going to talk about economic development. Both public and private investment have invested in infrastructure planning. Lift bridges have been developed to flow the passage of boats, traffic lights with lights on the ground so the driver can see better. The street stop with lights at night when a person crosses. Cameras at intersections to capture people who crosses at high speeds. Barriers on streets near schools to reduce the risk of danger. The City Hall encourages students who decide to undertake travel and business, reducing taxes during their first year so that they can use the profit in investment in their business to exchange for generating jobs for the rest of the population. The compensation of workers is kept at high wages to prevent problems of insecurity from occurring within the city, as well as public officials and public servants against corruption. I'm gonna talk about the food. The city manages urban gardens for growing food for some business and for family use on the terraces of some apartments and premises that avoid obstructing the path of the sidewalk. This helps the city to avoid producing its town food and to promote the economy of families with extra activities throughout organic foods, as well as importing food from farms to supply the population and its distribution in supermarkets. Food processing factories are located on the outskirts of the city to avoid contaminating the population, animals, and the environment, as well as the supermarkets are located in scattered areas of the city to be within reach of the majority of the population, where they only have to take crosswalk to get there. The foods produced in the city are apples, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, carrots, lettuce, cucumber, oranges, and animal products such as chicken, milk, pork, and beef.
The city has been taking into account the multiple services for the needs of the people. So being a smart city, it performs the service in the following way. The supply of this is carried out with necessaries to take care of public spending and of each household. So in the service of water is transported to each home enough to bathe, wash clothes and dishes. This water is processed by filters to be used again, generating a cycle to save water. The electrical energy found in homes into solar panels that sustains daily use. On the other hand, gas is transported through canals throughout the city. Gas is formed with the garbage generated by the city, which causes pollution to decrease and contributes to caring for the environment. An essential service that people use anywhere they are is the internet. It is provided in all shopping centers, supermarkets, parks, schools, and any public place so that everyone can use it for their communication needs. The theory of the care of environment has created many ecological projects. Is a build more parks with a huge variety of the trees and flower trees, as well as it is building and created with materials that don't affect the environment so much, in such a way that biodiversity and fauna are maintained. Planting trees is a custom of the people. Science together they make the change. Likewise, the constant use of car has been reduced so that no more CO2 is produced. That factories have also changed the way they use resources and reduce the manufacture of things so they not generate more CO2.
Hello, I am going to talk to you about effective administration and smart buildings. The idea for this performance should focus on being effective in the most efficient way possible. We wonder if we could be efficient without being effective. The answer is yes. You can be efficient without being effective. Resources can be used well without achieving the proposed objectives, and this happens when you are efficient with the wrong goals. The administration is a social body specifically in charge of making resources productive. It reflects the essential spirit of the modern era. It is indispensable, and this explains why once created it grew so quickly and with so little opposition. The smart city administration is an important part of it that emphasizes a global perception, ubiquitous network, a smart application, and sustainable and citizen-oriented innovation. the structure occupied with innovative materials and technologies that allows its system to be automated and self-regulating. Using technology like the IoT, an intelligent building seeks to improve the usability of the structure, optimize its efficiency, and increase its safety and accessibility. All this while also making the buildings more sustainable and environmentally conscious, including modern control systems and automation techniques. Smart buildings can produce energy savings, promote sustainability, and protect the environment, improve the health and safety of these occupants, improve the quality of life of those who coexist with the buildings.
Hi, my name is Juan Salaya, and in this section I will talk about improvements in education. First, the state has decided to invest about 10% of the national gross domestic product, or GDP, in improvements to public educational infrastructure. This city has a highly competitive educational model, and that's why too many professionals graduate from local universities. The main base of this type of structure is the model used in South Korea, where it is often said that if you are the first in class, you will be the first in life. So, during the first years of education, children are given the possibility to choose the profession. Many of them, from the age of 14 years old, have already decided what they will do in the future. So, the efforts of the higher educational levels become vigorous to create excellent professionals. And now I will tell you about energy saving. This city makes use of different techniques to save energy, among which we can mention the use of renewable energies. Throughout the city, we can find too many streetlights that work with lithium batteries, that are recharged with solar energy, and that automatically turn on and off at a specific time based on its schedule. This feature saves considerable money on tax issues. And another way of saving energy is related to the shared use of electricity vehicles. This feature not only reduces pollution by carbon dioxide emissions, but also reduces the necessary cost of electricity due to the intensive use of vehicles on the streets. This initiative has not yet become a standard, but it is expected that in a year it will become a habit.